Hello everyone, I Assistant Professor Pragati Shetty from Department of Microbiology, KG Somaiya College. In the last online lecture, we started the topic of the biochips. So we will continue that topic in this lecture also. In the last class, we saw what is biochips, then how it functions, right? Then the unique features of the biochips. Then we saw why to use the biochips. Okay. Then we saw the components of the biochips. What are the main two components? That is the transponder and the reader, right? Then transponder is also divided into 4 subparts and the reader is also divided into 3. Okay. Then transponder is divided into the computer microchip, that is the parts of the transponder, the assembly of the transponder we can say. Okay. First is the computer microchip. Then second one, it is having the antenna coil, having the copper coil or the copper wire or the iron core, okay, that will receive and send the signals from the reader. Then the third one is the tuning capacitor. As the name says, it has the capacity to store the small electric charges, okay, that will activate the transponder to return back the identification number that is present on the computer microchip. And the last part in the transponder, it will have the glass capsule. The glass capsule is covers this all the assembly that get together this assembly, so we can call this glass capsule as the house for these components. Okay. Then next we saw the reader. The reader is also having the 3 coil. First is the exciter coil, which produces the electromagnetic field via the radio signal. Now one thing is to remember here, that the signals or the waves, the energy that is using in this biochip is the radio waves, and this radio waves is used at the same frequency. Okay, same frequency for the reader and the same frequency for the transponder, so that their communication will establish, the successful communication will be happen. Then next it will have the receiving coil. First having the exciter coil, then the receiving coil that receive the ID number. Okay. Then third, it is also having the software. As I discussed in the earlier lecture, it will also have the software, and that software is responsible for decoding the identification number, that is the received code from the computer microchip in the transponder. Then this will convert this code, this identification number, into the digital format, and that will display our result. Okay. Then we saw the implantation. Then we saw the overall working of the biochip, how the biochip works. Now in this lecture we will see what are the different 1 to 2 various types of the biochips that are available and that are majorly used. So in the last class I have discussed about the DNA microarray, that also can be called as the gene chip. So we will first again revise that one. So now in the DNA microarray or the gene chip is the most used and the most convenient chip for the genetic or the molecular biology experiments in the biotechnology field, in the molecular genetic fields. Okay. So in this, the microscopic DNA or the probes, we can call it as the probes or the short segments of the DNA, spots are attached to the surface. Okay. There is a surface. On that surface, the probe can be the short DNA segments, the gene segments. Okay. These are attached as the spots. That means on the slide, on the chip, the DNA microarray. Okay. The microarray containing the small spots, little spots, and each spot will contain the segment of the gene called as the probe. The probe is attached with the fluorophore, silver, or the luminescence molecule, so that when the reaction will be positive, the fluorescence will emit, the light will emits, and depending on that light emission, we will be able to determine, we will be able to identify that the test antigen is present or absent, right, in the given test sample. Okay, so therefore the probe is attached with the fluorophore silver molecule or the chemiluminescence molecules. Okay, so if a test DNA is matching and combining with the probe, it will illuminate the light, and in this way we can determine the presence and the measurement of the gene expressions. Okay, so first in this picture, as you can see, there is the healthy cell, okay, indicating blue colors, and the pathological cell indicating the violet color. So two different types of cell types, okay, they will be cultured on the culture media on the laboratory. From that their DNA will be extracted, okay, and from the DNA the RNA will be extracted. Now this single stranded RNA will binds to the probes, okay, will get attached to the probes. So if there is the specific bonding between the probe, between the spotted genetic segments and the test sample, that is the DNA in the pathological cell, okay, then what will happen? Then the fluorescence will emit. Why? Because the fluorophore molecules are attached to the probes. Okay, what are the probes? These are the small genetic segments, small gene segment, small DNA segments. Okay, so if the single stranded DNA from the sample will get attached, will get bind to the already attached probe, then if the positive reaction will happen, then it will emit the fluorescence. Okay, and depending on the fluorescence, depending on the light, we can determine the presence of the pathological cell or the presence of the test sample. Okay, so in this way we can determine the various, we can detect various kind of the diseases, and also we can measure the gene expression. Now how we can measure? As you can see, there is a different spots, right, there are various spots, so each spot will carry one. So we can quantify easily the number of the gene expressions, that how many genes are got expressed and how many are not. Okay, and so from that we can determine that how many number or what is the level of the pathogenicity is present in the test sample. That also we can determine from this biochip, okay, DNA microarray or the gene chip. So you can see in the picture there is the result showing diagram of the different spots. So the gray color one is the spot which indicating there is no either present, not present in the healthy cell, also in the pathological cell. Okay, so that's why there is the no emission. Then the green color indicating the normal cell, means what? The green color will emits only when the normal cell sample will bind to the probe. Okay, then it will emit the green color. Yellow color will emit if both the cells, means the healthy cell can also produce yellow and the pathological cell can also produce the yellow color. But now the differentiating, the distinguishing component, that is the red color, which is very specific for the pathological cell. So if only the pathological DNA will get bind to the probe, will react with the probe, it will produce the red color illuminescence. Okay, and from that we can determine the presence of the test sample, presence of the pathogenicity. Also we can measure the gene expression, right? So here we can see there are 6 to 7 spots for the red color, then 4 to 5 for the yellow colors, and same 4 to 5 for the green color. Okay, so we can say 6 to 7 cells, 6 to 7 spots are positive because it is illuminating the red color light, red color illuminescence. because that is very specific for the pathological cell. Okay, so if the pathological cell DNA will get bonding with the probe, then only the red color will illuminate. Okay, then this is about the DNA microarray or the gene chip. This is the very useful method to determine various kind of the diseases, various kind of the gene expression, to measuring the gene expression, right, to determine the level of the pathogenicity. Also use with the help of the biochips, we can determine the disease in the previous stage also. Okay, means if a person is not very confirm, is not having a distant symptoms, and even if he is having any doubt or any suspect any disease, so we can take that sample and check their gene expression, right? And so if the biochip result is present, then we can cure that disease much earlier, so the person can save from that disease. Okay, now in this link I have put one link here. There is a very beautiful videography was shown for the DNA microarray working. So do watch this video. Okay, it is very important video. So this is about the DNA microarray or the gene chip. Okay, this is the one type of the biochip. Now we will see the next type. Okay, the next type is the protein chip or the protein microarray. Okay, so DNA microarray specific for identifying the DNA. Likewise, protein microarray will be specific for identifying the protein interactions, right? Now that is used to determine the interaction and activities of the proteins. Then surfaces can be used as the glass slide, nitrocellulose membrane, okay, then beads or the micro titer plates can also be used for the protein microarray or the protein biochip. Okay, now in the surfaces, in the case of the DNA microarray, can be the solid surface, the glass slide or the nitrocellulose membrane can be used. Okay, now on these surfaces in the protein microarray, the probe will be incorporated, attached with the fluorescent dye on the surface. Okay, so that we can able to detect the presence or the absence of the desired sample, right? Now the protein and the antibody will interact with each other, or the probe. See, protein is ultimately is an antigen, okay, and the probe, we are incorporating probe as an antibodies. Then what will happen? If that antigen is very specific for that antibody, then it will bind. And as we know, our probe is attached with the fluorescence dye, fluorescent molecule. So if the reaction is positive, if the antigen bind to the antibody, then the light will be emitted, the fluorescence will be emitted, so that we can able to determine the presence of that proteins in that sample. Okay, then this method is used to determine various type of sample parallelly. Okay, this is very important advantage in the case of the protein microarray, that different types of the sample, various types of the sample can be determined, can be carried out in the single run. Okay, parallelly, simultaneously. This very small amount quantities of the reagents and the samples are required, as we know how small is the biochip, and so the sample that is getting inside these biochips will also very small. So the sample efficiency is important point in these biochips, right? Very small quantity of the reagent and the samples are required. These are used to determine the protein microarray and the protein biochip, used to determine the protein-protein interaction, cross reactivity of the proteins, specificity of the protein, mapping the epitopes. Okay, epitopes are present on the antigen, right? So we can map by the use with the using of their reactivity with their probes, right? So in this diagram, in this picture, you can see the control is present and the sample is present. Okay, now the proteins or the antigens, we will incorporate our sample on the biochip, right? Protein biochip, which is already incorporated with the probes, and probes are already attached with the fluorescence. Then these proteins will labeled with the fluorescence dye. Okay, then they will hybridized, right? Then they will hybridized with the probes. Antigen will be hybridized with the antibodies, right? Now the binding will happen between the both, and if the binding is specific, then the image capturing and analysis. See, in the case of, I have discussed the results in the spot results in the DNA microarray, the same way we used for the protein microarray result. Okay, depending on the color, each color is specific for the each type. Normal will have different color, then the pathogenic will have different color, then one common color will also be there, which is present in both normal as well as the pathogenic. All right, then according to this, we can determine the protein-protein interaction, protein specificity, how much specific is the protein is, right? Then we can determine the cross reactivity of the protein, whether our protein is reacting with the cross reactivity, okay, showing the cross reactivity or not. Then we can map the protein, we can map the epitopes using this method. Okay, so this is about the protein biochip. I hope you understood this lecture. In this lecture, we majorly saw two types of the biochips. First is the DNA microarray, also can be called as a gene chip, and the second is protein microarray or the protein chip. Okay, these are the two types of the biochip. The other two types we will take in the next lecture. If you have any doubt regarding this topic, please ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching.